this video, I'll go over a couple things to look for when you're buying a project bike. So I'm not really a motorcycle enthusiast, but when you come across a good deal, it's really hard to pass it up. This here is basically a barn find. It's a 1981 Yamaha SR250. It's nothing special, but like I said, got it for a really good deal. So figure it's a good opportunity to show you guys what to look for when you're buying a bike, especially if you don't know a whole lot about motorcycles. So let's get to it. Alright, so the first thing I want to clear up is when you have a bike of this age and it's been sitting for this long, whether it runs or not really isn't a big deal because you're probably going to be rebuilding the engine anyway. The most important thing to look for is to make sure that you have a straight, rust-free frame. When it comes to looking for rust, that's pretty self-explanatory, so we won't go over that. But to make sure you have a straight frame, you just want to look at it from the front and the back. Just make sure everything looks basically straight. You also want to check your forks. Make sure your forks are straight because sometimes those can be a real pain to find. And here, I'll show you quick. This is pretty common knowledge, but rust like this is just fine. That's surface rust. It can be sandblasted or sanded off and then primered and repainted. So don't worry about stuff like this too much. That can all be restored just fine. Another thing to look for to make sure your frame is straight is to look at the sides of the engine. If you see any scrapes or scuff marks, that's a sign that it's been laid down and you could have some twisting in the frame or something that you can't see with the naked eye. As you can see, this bike is pretty clean, no scrapes or anything, but there is that long sliding dent along the gas tank, so I have a feeling this was laid down, but as far as I can see, everything survived and everything's straight. And you can see this side of the bike looks good too. Seat needs some work. This is also a good time to just kind of maybe make a list and see what you need to do to the bike overall, even when it comes down to the minor details like reupholstering the seat. More than likely your gas tank is going to be really rusty inside like this one, but it's something to check out, you know, because that can be a real pain to fix. I'll probably do a video on how to restore a gas tank in the near future. And that's basically all there is to look for if you're looking for an in-depth barn find motorcycle project like this one. One more thing, I guess, if you're concerned with originality, you can look for casting numbers. There will be one on the frame, another casting number on the engine, and then probably other pieces like maybe the forks, and then there's one here on the gas tank. So if you want an all original bike, just make sure all those numbers match up and you should be good to go. And I'll be doing a lot of specific segments for this project too, so stay tuned.